Most recent musical, Daddy Longlegs, which was brilliant, we saw last fall, is about a wealthy man, Jervis, who funds the education of an orphan, Jerusha, and the letters that she blindly writes him. After I saw it, I went online and I saw that not only was it based off of a book, but they made a movie or two out of it, and there was also a television series. What do you think it is about these characters and the story that makes it so adaptable into many different mediums?
Well, I mean, I think it's Gene Webster's novel that is the source material that inspired all of the other productions. I think actually our production is the only one remaining actually true to the source material. If anyone watches the, uh, the the movie with Fred Astaire, it's very loosely based on the novel, and I don't think that movie helps us in any way. I don't think it was one of Fred Astaire's best, but I think the source material is really strong. I think it feels contemporary. The story, the idea, Jerusha is a very progressive young woman of her time, ahead of her time, politically, socially, and I think those issues speak to everyone. And she just was a wonderful character to write about.
Yeah. Also, just the form of a book, being it chapter by chapter, and in the novel, correct me if I'm wrong, it's just like her letters.
Yes, that's correct.
That lends itself more to a musical because the letters could just be like a song, whereas a movie needs to create its own plot and gets a little necessary.
Yeah, I mean, you have to create a lot more with the film, obviously, or the play version, which Gene Webster did, and it ran on Broadway, I think, in the 20s or the 30s. But John Caird, the book writer and director, had to really invent the character of Jervy, because he only exists in the book in her mind. I mean, she writes about him in her mind, and we don't really know who he is. So John sort of created him and gave him a voice, and we wrote songs for him, and I think he did an amazing job, and we've brought him to life. And I think that's what we've done that some of the other pieces didn't do. I mean, Fred Astaire was a jazz drummer in the 50s, which didn't really relate to the character Jervy in terms of Gene Webster's vision.